Sentire Media.
Now, after the day's excitement, he was alone in his new office, almost lost in it. As soon as he had heard the news, in a rare sign of affection towards his wife, Rachele, he had grabbed her, put her up against the door and looked into her eyes, saying, "Today is the start of the best period of our lives." She had not really known what to do with this show of affection, nor the potentially monumental news she had been given. She simply looked down. His lover, Margherita Sarfatti, had been more aware of the situation and whispered congratulations and plans into his ear. But now he was alone. Perhaps his thoughts went back to the violent and difficult little boy he had been. Perhaps to the priest who had divided up the students among rich, middle, and poorer groups, and he had had to sit in the poor group and watch while the richer children were fed better. Perhaps to the young school teacher who walked barefoot along the train tracks, his shoes slung over his shoulder so that they would not get consumed. Perhaps to his exiled years in Switzerland, when often he would sleep under bridges, not having a roof over his head, as his political agitation and speeches started to make waves. Perhaps his perceived betrayal at the hands of his socialist colleagues in 1914. Perhaps the burning shame of the failure of the 1919 election, in which the socialists had ridiculed him by giving him a fake funeral, parading a casket through the streets of Milan. But now he had made it. He was a member of parliament. His party was very far from a majority, only about 35 seats, but it was a start. What would the child, the school teacher, the political exile have thought if they had known that he would become what they had always hated, a representative of the political establishment? But what was done was done. The only way was forward. Benito Mussolini was now a member of the Italian Parliament. In May of 1921, Benito Mussolini's Fasci di Combattimento first gained seats in the Italian Parliament. Just over a year later, they would take over the government, starting a personal rule that would last for over 20 years. We feel today there is a strong need to go back and look at the lessons that the rise and fall of fascism can teach us, as well as the consequences it had and still has on our geopolitical system. Join me, Mike Corradi, and my co-host Matteo Marconi as we explore the history of fascism in Fascism 100. Theme music by Fabio Debbi, and you can look him up on his YouTube channel.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.